Welcome back. This is Baccano. Episode 4.
Welcome Baccano.
Welcome Baccano. I think this episode is Lad Russo likes slaughtering a lot or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Talking a lot and slaughtering a lot. Which slaughter can be someone's last name, you know.
I'm going to call myself Moneybags. Turn and cough. Anyway, last time we saw, wow, I was going to say Schneisel. Schlepp. What's his name? The kid with the tattoo.
Jacuzzi
The
Splot.
nitwit. The
Jacuzzi
nitwit.
Splot.
Splotchy.
Which he's got a interesting orange plaid vest of some sort.
Splotchy McSplotchersons. It believes that this fairy tale has already started taking over the train, although if you look at the body, there's a gunshot wound coming out of the guy's face.
Well, here's the thing. You're told about this. You're like, hey, well, I can sympathize with him not knowing everything that's going on.
But the story is that the people disappear.
Yes.
And there's a body left. So, like, here, I mean, I get the. Do you see what I mean?
No,
like,
I understand. Okay. But the thing is, you're in that situation, especially considering what we've seen of him so far.
And his character.
He's gonna be,
He's gonna. Yeah, I get it. All right. So we got that. We got very little from the thieves.
Isaac and Miria.
Just making a couple jokes cracking here and there. Still super interested in why they're at the end of every episode giving the teaser for the next one, and we're not seeing Carol and the vice president.
Because they're wonderful. They're eccentric.
Accurate, and they believe everything that they come up with, which, you know, honestly,
they're living a happy life.
They are, and you can't discredit that.
Yep.
The train cars being assaulted currently by 2 different factions was 3. He kind of bowed out.
Yeah, because he showed up to a gunfight with a knife.
Why are all henchmen stupid? Which, I mean, it's kind of a
because story tropes.
Well, it has to come from somewhere. Like,
why are all stormtroopers bad at shooting at things?
If you're the person in charge, you aren't going to hire someone who's also as good as you below you. Like, that's also true. My brother and I had a conversation one time, and I think I've mentioned this to you before.
Unless you're a smart and humble person, that type of person will surround themselves with people that are better and smarter than them.
Steve Jobs is not the key character in any anime that we're ever going to watch.
Okay.
My brother said this, though, in a conversation I had with him probably last year, where you will only ever be hired at your highest level of incompetency.
Yes, you've mentioned this before, and I always thought it was an interesting way to phrase it.
Right. The interpretation of this is whatever your ceiling is for your level of competency, you'll never rise above unless you push that ceiling higher. So henchmen, because that's what we're talking about, their highest level of competency is trying to follow orders.
Yep.
That they were given about whatever they were given orders about. And clearly, based on the guy standing between the 2 rail cars, when we see him go through, was it 4 or 5 variations of like, what did she mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I get benefit of the doubt.
That is 90% of problems with corporate business interactions is vague command.
Go take care of the train car, right? Which I get. The directions were not explicitly clear.
Yep.
So benefit of the doubt for him. But I don't know. Anyway, let's watch the episode.
What do they mean?
Yeah, let's just watch the episode.
Let's watch Lad Russo slaughter a lot.
Episode 4. Oh yeah, I've got to put these on.
Juggle these things.
Are you guys enjoying hitting play and hearing the commentary? Let us know below. You can click play. Let us know below. Comment favorite parts of the episode. Give me more information that I'm clearly not catching. You know, all those things. Just play it. I'm talking to people.
Yeah, I have to cut all of this out to give him a countdown, though. So that's why I'm waiting for you to finish talking.
I thought the countdown was at the beginning before we start.
No, the countdown is so that they can play it at the same so they can hit play the same time I hit play.
Got it. I misunderstood that earlier.
So that's why I'm waiting for you to finish your thought.
I'm done.
Behind the scenes, exclusive footage, except it's not exclusive. It's very public. All right, here we go.
Okay, so like, subscribe, comment, Let us know what you think of this. Clue me in on stuff that I'm missing. Maybe you'll see the interaction we had just before this
And-
where I misunderstood something. No, I got
And
the orange.
buy us a Baccano bar.
Do they really sell them?
No, I have no clue. All
right.
It's a Hershey's bar with a different brand.
Yeah,
on it.
buy us a Baccano bar, buy us a coffee or some water. Woo! By subscribing to our Patreon, tossing us a couple bucks. Yeah, we appreciate you. We thank you for tuning in. If you're waiting for Code Geass, it's coming. We're gonna blow through this series. We're talking about other series to go through. If you want to see us watch something, make some noise about it in the comments below because we're gonna try and give you guys what you want to see. And so,
Sorry, I'm just wondering, what do you think about this song? I rather like it. It's fun.
it's nice. It's upbeat. Yeah. Let us know in the comments below what you want us to watch. Please don't put anything in like Dragon Ball Z or Inuyasha that are like 900 million episodes.
Let her have any news about where my
Anyway,
Recap happening.
recap.
Everyone down on the floor right now.
Hands in the air, all of you.
There it is.
Everybody free.
Bringing a knife.
But which one should we do?
I would have shot the guy with the knife.
Sorry for the confusion.
Sorry about that. So yeah, I'm thinking Claymore or Rurouni Kenshin after Code Geass to be the person leading it.
I have a lot of ideas, but I'm holding off on telling them.
That's also fair. I'm just trying to find ones that I know that I've watched that I could lead Kristopher in instead of him leading.
There's a lot
me
more.
all
There's
the
a lot
time.
of popular modern ones that I know of.
Right.
Sorry, gunshots.
1931.
Gunshots.
Nice 3D effect.
Guns. I love guns.
All right. A little bit. He's also delusional, just
Oh yeah.
differently.
We have a lot of crazy people.
This'll be fun.
Is he skipping?
What
Yep.
the hell was that all about? Boss, nobody told me about that. Sounds like death and danger.
Danger.
Sounds bad. Danger, danger. What's happening in the dining car? Is there blood? Who's killing who? Where did they get shot? I have to see. Things are really starting to get exciting. Yes, 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 yes.
Lad Russo enjoys talking a lot and slaughtering a lot.
What are you taking for?
Chicago, 10 hours ago.
It's bad enough without having to listen to your stupid fairy tale.
It's no fairy tale, boss. Honest. There were two of them, and I swear they were dressed just like Babe Ruth and Ty Cobb.
My fat ass.
I know
It's a good sound effect for the hand slam.
but we grilled the Bagman pretty good, and I really don't think he's lying.
And for Topper, Sedaris screwed up too, eh?
Yeah, we found him over in East Pilsen. Well, sort of. What was left of him didn't even look human anymore.
All from a jelly bean like this?
Those guys are actually a pretty tough crew, boss. They even knocked over
Enough. This loser's too much trouble.
A little backstory about Splotchy Splotch McSplotchersons.
I want you two to put the screws on every couple in the city.
Don't do that, Uncle. People will think you're just a bitter, grumpy old man. Did I say that out loud?
So our eccentric robbers have
I don't have time for this.
bit responsibility for the train.
So I like the terminology that they've put into the script for the time frame. It feels right.
Yeah,
It feels a little off, still feels a little too modern, but it feels kind of just good enough.
they've injected just the right amount of
I feel like it could be a little
colloquial
more, but it's
slang.
good. Yeah.
Responsible, and then take them by the throat and
yeah, it's the
Man.
bee's knees.
Who didn't love you?
until they foam like a dog, and then squeeze some more.
Who hurt you?
Eyes are about to pop out. You squeeze just a little more.
His trachea would have broken by now. It only requires a couple pounds to go through. There it is.
And then just a quick goodbye. Right?
You're a freak. Homicidal lunatics think you're a nutcase.
Your attempt
Yeah.
at flattery is so ham-handed. Can't you do better for the Russo family's greatest assassin?
Killing people is the only thing I think you're good for.
Have you ever considered the possibility that I'm the only person you can count on? My dear uncle. Now listen, there's an express train that leaves this evening from Union Station and goes all the way to New York. It's called the Flying Pussyfoot or something, but because it doesn't stop, it's perfect for a hijacking. Anyway, I was thinking, maybe I should take the train and crash it straight into the heart of Manhattan. Of course, that wouldn't really be fun, but it would be a good bluff. And if they didn't pay to stop that, I get to start killing people. Maybe just half the passengers. If they saw dead bodies being hurled on their tracks, I'm sure the railroad company would come to their senses pretty quick and pay up. I get to kill people and we get some money.
So the Russo family is trying to bribe the railroad company for money.
Get the hell out!
Which,
Someone
to get money to make up for the fact that Isaac and Miria just stole from him.
the hell are you?
Yeah.
Because stealing from the mafia is always a good idea.
These are my friends who really like my ideas. Oh, I should introduce you to Lua, my girlfriend, lover, and fiance. So please, try not to say anything embarrassing.
It's very nice to meet you, mister.
She's such a quiet little flower. Just the tonic I need to cure my unique sensitivities.
Unique sensitivities.
Do not job. Go ahead and kill, kidnap, or pillage the whole town for all I care. Just don't drag our name into it. You're gonna act like you're just some one-off wacko trying to get his jollies and not a relative of mine.
Uncle, you are so wise. Killing is so much more fun when it has nothing to do with the family business.
Now, lad.
Now, dear uncle, there is a certain type of person that I just love to kill. It doesn't even matter whether they're weak or strong. The people I love to kill that really get me jazzed never see it coming. Never. They're in some happy place where they're sure nothing can get them.
It's very Joker-esque.
Furthest thing from their mind.
Some people just want to see the world burn.
Have for dinner. Just like you were. Right before I walked in.
Burning a work of art just for the hell of it.
Oh, I couldn't kill you. It's not even loaded. Besides, you've taken such good care of me, Uncle. Even the insane can show their thanks every now and then, right?
Go away.
Wish. I have to go and change my clothes anyway.
Come on, let's blow. Yeah, why are you guys dressed up like you're going to some fancy party?
Even though we are gonna shatter dozens of lives inside a crowded train, wearing white is gonna make the blood look so pretty.
Out the window. You got the right idea.
I don't think that that's how trains work, and she couldn't have slid under the car like that.
I don't know what gauge the train is and how wide the car.
Please do not.
Fair enough.
I assure you, I am completely
Looks like it's fairly wide though.
So, who the hell are you anyway?
Although we may be strangers, we are not enemies.
Answer me!
I am
Tom
a
again.
regular passenger on this train who is completely unarmed. Yeah? Yeah?
I thought he loaded him with some stuff.
Yeah, I'm confused about
This
that.
little choo-choo ride of ours may just turn out to be exciting after all.
You're a dead man. You know that, pal? They're never gonna let you live.
You're just like all the other mobsters I've killed. They all think something special's gonna protect them. Nice try, Slugger. Come on, put up your dukes. You're Pete Hammond? You're like
I like him.
maybe Jack.
You like the psycho killer?
Do you even know any of these boxes I'm talking about? Any red-blooded American would know who I'm talking about, right? Don't tell me you don't. Oh, you don't? I'll make you pay for not knowing them, pal. Of course,
I like the tying in of boxing, which was very big back then.
Oh, yep. Mm-hmm.
Very macho boxing. The martial arts, not so much, but the boxing, sure.
Yeah.
I guess I have to work on my right hook. You're trying to make me look bad, aren't ya?
A low life like you is never gonna stop the great Master Yui. You don't have the guts, don't you know that?
I don't give a rat's ass about Master Huey or whoever you guys really are. I just know that you are all my newest enemies. And you have really nice guns. You people are all the same. You think you're so smart!
This is the point in which people should have been running the other direction.
There's no way anyone can stop us are so strong. With all of our men at our job,
Interesting that this scene has just kept on.
It just keeps going.
you are so beautifully amazed when you die. Especially when
It does very much remind me of Fight Club's I just want to destroy something beautiful with Edward Norton in the scene where the monologue goes.
So he wants to squish his brain between his fingers like he's making sausage.
Something like
We
that.
thought we heard machine guns, and we come to find you like this? What the hell's going on?
You're Senator Barium's wife, right?
Uh-oh.
I think I'm gonna switch things up a little. We'll go ahead and finish off these gentlemen in the black suits first, and then come back for you. It's been a pleasure.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yep.
Sun Tzu.
The rest of them.
Leave them.
I can use these guys.
That's what he's thinking.
Anime tropes that children know better than anybody else, or young people know better than anyone else. Ridiculous.
Was that child somehow connected to the bomb they're carrying too from an earlier episode?
Gonna be just fine.
Right.
Stopping back home any moment now, I'm sure.
Yes, you're right. Of course. You have to be right.
Lying to the little girl.
Why do we lie to children?
This just doesn't feel right. Pretending that we don't know anything.
It's not like we're lying to her. We don't know squat about what's going on. We let the Runerata folks think we'd have something
Like
to
you.
tell them soon, too. Word on the street is that Gustavo was being shaken down by Dallas because he killed Dallas's father and brother. But you and I know that ain't true. Obviously, Bartolo Runerata must have some ulterior motive. Who knows what that could be?
And with the Genoard situation being classified.
Classified? I thought the Gandor brothers took care of Dallas, didn't they?
You didn't hear that.
Hey, I know what I heard. What's with the hush-hush?
The president told me to keep my mouth shut.
I know what's going on. It's got something to do with those people that never die.
I'm sorry, it's just that I have very strict orders to keep it under wraps. I should really be going. Don't be mad. And if you don't mind, could this not leave the room? The boss would be furious.
I've said too much by not saying anything. 1930.
2 years ago. 2 years ago? Yeah. Ah.
Ah, yes.
For carelessness, there is
We've
no
seen this before.
Yep.
No excuse for carelessness.
No excuse.
Listen, Miria.
Yes, Isaac?
Make sure not to draw any attention to ourselves.
Just act normal. Move slow and steady like a regular person.
That's it, Dollface. Smooth as butter and jam. Amazing! Surely I can't pick just one.
How's this, sir?
Are you sure it's legal to sell this stuff?
I feel festive in this.
This one doesn't quite suit my taste.
I don't know if this is good for robbing people.
All right. Time to pay the bill. Now listen up, pal. You should erase our faces from your mind. Just forget that we ever set foot in this store.
Erase it from your mind, pal.
She's a parrot.
And don't even
In a woman's body.
reporting this to the police. If you do, what'll we do?
If we got nothing special ribbed up, maybe we could just poke him in the face.
That sounds tough. As I was saying, you dare rat us out.
If you rat us out,
Lights out.
lights out.
Hey, here's your change.
Worst robbers ever.
I mean, they even paid for the hats.
I was so scared.
I was so scared.
Yeah, that old timer was certainly no rube. That piercing gaze of his made me feel as if he could read my every thought.
Just old senile man. But how do you rob a car of mobsters without fear?
All I have to do is think of your face, and I'd fight like a madman.
Really?
Of course I would.
They're an item.
From the time we started our little robbery tour, we've done 87.
What gave it away?
His eyebrows, though.
All of them have been interesting challenges, but have any of those ones come close to putting your life in any kind of danger?
Only 87 times.
My point exactly, love. It's still less than 100.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right.
So let's Big John here in the Big Apple and then live like a rollers down in my
Okay.
Even the word danger to find us all the way down there.
Bye-bye, danger.
We'll buy a big house and it'll have a pool that we can swim in from the first light of dawn till the wee hours of the night.
But won't the nights be too cold?
We'll light an army of furnaces that warm it up at night so we can swim whenever we want.
An army of furnaces.
We can live just like royalty in our own house.
Walk into Home Depot. I want an army of furnaces at my house.
What about a train from the gate to the front door?
Our own property every day.
Really think we're gonna be that rich, Isaac?
But of course,
Oh, it's gonna be so incredible.
as long as we're together, I could be the president. I could be a king or a queen. I could even be a joke.
A king or a queen.
But it's incredible.
86 times to put your life in danger. Or did she say 87?
It's 88 now.
Okay.
Does anybody know who these Brunos in the white suits are working for?
No, sir. I ain't got a clue.
It's a werewolf on his left.
Call back anyone who isn't 6 feet deeper than the rest of us.
Yes, sir.
Where do you bury people on a train?
Perhaps we should
Toss their bodies.
another trial.
I don't know if we can say what it is exactly at this point. Maybe it's too early to tell.
I suppose you're right. We can't approach the heights that Master Huey has reached by going through the normal paths.
Where are you heading, Chane? You let her go?
Leave her alone. She'll do what needs to be done. Besides, she won't live past tomorrow.
You should be more careful. What's wrong with you?
I'm terribly sorry. They came out of nowhere and I couldn't stop in time.
Watch where you're going, buddy. You could have killed us both.
They appear to be uninjured.
Yes, we weren't going very fast, sir.
Drive.
Yes, sir.
Wait a minute! You can't get away with that! Get back here and fight me!
Oh, the irony. You can't get away with that. Commits felonies.
These days. Although I could never figure out what the young people of 200 years ago were thinking either. Misa. Since that young pup went mad, I haven't trusted anyone younger than me.
Sir, isn't it true that from where you sit, everyone in the world is younger than you?
The old guy knows Misa.
Who the hell we got running around in those black suits out there, huh?
They are a special treat, my friend. We each get to kill 2 or 3 of them apiece. And the fact that these guys think they're so superior with their fancy weapons is going to make it even sweeter. Back to work. Now.
His family is actually the originators of Kool-Aid.
So we're going to have
Oh yeah.
Because they're all drinking it.
After you let them have it for a while, we can all come back here for a celebration.
Grand Central. The original Smart House.
Well, 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 if it isn't Mr. Quates. It's been a long time.
What's 20 years between old friends?
Could it be
He finally came. You're looking quite well.
You're exactly as you were before.
Egghead.
Mr. Barnes and Mr. Sturgeon.
Mr. Barnes is busy distilling, and Mr. Sturgeon unfortunately passed away last year.
That is unfortunate. With that defective and unrefined elixir, you have been unable to achieve immortality.
Sturgeon had to grow old and die. If only he had been able to
Another
stay
comment about fate.
nearly 1 year more, he would have been here with us to see this day arrive. Gentlemen, until now the fear of death has been ever present in your minds, but all of that will come to an end today. After all these years, we've succeeded in creating a perfected product. The grand panacea has finally arrived. Is Mr. Barnes in possession of the finished product?
Yes.
Ennis, go and pick up Mr. Barnes at once.
Sir.
Ennis,
Yes, sir.
if you find that Barnes has gotten into the finished product, then kill him. He's of no use to me. If he has corrupted the remedy, then I'm afraid he must die as well.
As you wish, sir.
Old secret society of old guys.
You can't just kick a guy and expect him to look the other way, now can you, Gramps?
You're the one who stuck your foot out to trip me.
Oh, yeah? Well, you're the genius who told us we were just a bunch of scum and should go jump in a lake, isn't that right? I think that makes it your fault that my foot stuck out. After all, you're the one who was dumb enough to trip over it in the first place.
Yeah, you're right. The whole thing was my fault. I'll give you money.
It's gonna take more than that, old-timer. Hey, is that booze?
Ooh, now we're talking.
Let's just see why that box is so important to you, Gramps.
Barnes. Excuse me. Are you all right, sir?
Yeah.
I'm terribly sorry about that. Excuse me. I've got to go. I'm looking for someone.
Hey! Lady, wait up!
That's a thing.
I feel like that last image of the spirit thing, which nice tie-in, because it's a nice little plot twist there, is actually probably the woman in green.
Yep. Okay, that climbed out the window.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is a woman, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I know her name, but it's not been revealed.
That's
yet,
fine.
So.
And then I'm going to recap the things that I understand so far.
Okay.
They're really mostly sets of 2. And I feel like I'm forgetting someone, but this is what I've gathered so far. The robbers want money.
Yep.
Lasso and his family want destruction, because it's his character, and money from the railroad people. Railroad. The cultists want to free their leader.
Yep. Huey.
The Dallas family wants to accuse the mob family for some reason, but that might just be a hoax. We'll come back in a second.
Recap.
Jacuzzi is amazing!
Why is that, Isaac?
He may cry and get scared, but he always musters reckless valor and pulls it together in the end.
Just like 2 magnets!
That's right, Miria. He may cry and get scared, but in the end he's just like a couple of magnets.
Jacuzzi is incredible!
Yeah, so hopefully he has some sort of special power. So the 4th people are the bomb people, which Jacuzzi's a part of. They want the bomb for some reason? Maybe? The bomb. There's a 4 count of wheels.
4 wheels?
4 wheels. And I know that I haven't counted the little boy.
Yep, Ches.
Yep. or the guy in green.
Guy in green. Furo?
Yeah.
Yep, Furo.
And these 3 brothers haven't been counted. I can't remember which family they're a part
Counted, what do you mean?
of. Well, just like knowing what they're doing.
Oh, knowing what they're doing. Yeah.
And don't know what she's doing.
Girl from the train.
The girl in green climbed out.
Girl in green fatigues.
Although she's a part of the cultists, Johnny, Chansey.
Shanae that says that she's not going to live after the Senate hearing, it sounds like.
Yep, Chansey the Pokemon. She probably has other endeavors. Oh, you took your headphones off.
Yeah,
because it's done. Yeah, so I think I'm kind of picking some stuff up. The Nisi, nice girl.
Niece, yep.
She probably wants something else besides the bomb as well. Don't know any better, but that's what I've picked up so far. Did you want to say anything?
No, not yet. I mean,
okay.
It was a thought that popped my head that I probably should have said in episode 1, but I forgot and just thought of it now. Was that this show... Go ahead. I'll do mine last.
Still don't know about the mayor or his 10-year-old assistant, which is weird.
You mean the vice president?
Vice president,
yeah.
Not the mayor.
Yeah, he's vice president of a company, not an elected official.
The mayor is someone from a book that I'm reading right now that I was going through just before I sat here.
Speaking of books,
Mayor of Dwarf.
Speaking of books, I forgot. I should have. I probably.
The Age of
I forgot
Swords.
to mention this, and now I just remembered. I was like, so I'm going to mention it now. This show is an adaptation of a series of light novels.
Okay, that would make sense. I would be interested in actually seeing them do a live rendition of it, honestly.
I'm curious. I've not read them. I don't know what how they're localized or what any of that is, but I'm curious exactly how they're done because of the constant jump. Yeah, how they're written, or like what the story, how the stories are contained. Because obviously here they're cutting between a bunch of them, as well as cutting between different perspectives, and obviously the little title cards with the date is mildly helpful, but what's more helpful is when you see them tied together, you see the scenes you've seen before
Replay
again.
to remind you, yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, this is how it's all connected.
I actually feel, even though I haven't caught all the dates, as in I couldn't give you a timeline, it does feel helpul. Yeah. Even though I don't still exactly know what's going on. They're
really vague with the times. Like, it was just like 1930, 1931, 1932.
Right. And I don't recall if we know where the train is coming from.
Well, the train story... Oh, where it's coming from? What do you mean by
the
city?
Destination from, yeah, city.
Okay, it's coming from Chicago.
All right,
It's a transcontinental Chicago to New York.
Okay, yeah.
That's also why Lad Russo is from a Chicago mafia family, which is why they made a point of...
Right, okay.
That's where Isaac and Myriad did their...
They have not done a good enough job separating the cities.
Yeah.
They could have done a better job of that.
Right.
So, anyway.
Yeah, so the stuff going on... Yeah, so basically the 1930 story and the 1932 story is taking place in New York, and the 1931 is primarily the train ride from Chicago to New York.
Yep.
You're right. They don't
separate
stress it a lot, but we haven't
the different urban settings.
Yeah, the only place we've not really been in Chicago at all, except for getting whacked in the head with baseball bats and then Lad killing the people in front of his uncle. That's basically all that's happened in Chicago.
Okay.
Unless you count the entire train as in Chicago just for simplicity.
I didn't know that took place in Chicago.
I know they did a title card before the scene.
I'm sure they did. But
Right.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot of information in the show.
There is definitely a lot.
So, cool.
Yeah. A few things that I'd quickly note down was just a note of Master Huey, is the name of the cultist's person that they want out of prison before some Senate hearing about something, which we have a senator in the story.
Right. I don't know what the senator wants either, outside of the train blowing up.
Yeah, outside of something about an item
at the cost of his family.
Yeah, an item coming in to New York, which it sounds like that's where he's from, because he said he and his wife said that they're on vacation. They're going to go visit her husband. So I feel like that is enough to assume he's probably a New York senator. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Why not? All right. What else?
The other thing was that the old guy that was in the car knows Miza, who is the guy who always has his eyes closed.
Okay, got it. That's the guy with his eyes closed.
And the talk about Mr. Sturgeon had to grow old and die. It just made me think of someone else bringing up the idea of fate. Whereas the senator says like, oh, if my family dies, it was God's will, basically.
Well, that's not exactly what he said.
That's not what he said.
It was just different.
He said it was the hand they were dealt. It was the hand they were dealt by God, was what he'd said.
Oh, I thought he said fate.
Yeah, you're right. The hand they were dealt by fate. You're right.
Yeah, which is entirely different. Although you could use it as an entity, it is not God itself.
Right.
Cool. Great.
Cool. That's what I'd know.
How do you guys feel about our recap with me trying to figure out who's doing what? The whodunit, if you will, of the show so far, being 4 episodes in. Let us know below. Like, comment, subscribe.
So what?
Ask questions.
Oh, it's just what do you think is happening next then? You haven't made predictions. You just said, okay, this is what I think people are doing. So what do you think is going to happen going forward?
That's fair. Well, so we still haven't seen the senator much. We haven't seen the VP, his assistant. We've only briefly had an introduction to the woman in green who climbed out the train car. So the people that we're really following right now are the robbers, Lasso, the cultists.
I like what you call him,
Lasso.
Lasso.
Kind of Dallas's sister.
Eve?
Yeah, Eve. And then the bomb people. So I imagine that the bomb people are going to get their hands on the bomb, especially based on the title card or the title for episode 5, that Splotchy Splotch McSplotchersons ends up like being really great, and the robbers love him. So I think that the bomb people and the robbers are going to end up being a kind of a joint team because the robbers just kind of get swept up in stuff and whatever.
They
Lasso is going to be a huge asset to them because he's going to deal with the cultists before he comes back for the senator's wife.
Because it's more fun.
Right, yeah. And then he's going to go get Splotchy Splotch McSplotchersons because he noticed that he can get $5,000 out of that, which back in the 30s is like probably the equivalent of $100,000
So
now.
while Isaac and Miria have played a part, unfortunately, in being part of the butterfly effect of Tony, the old conductor, dying in episode 2, they have also, at the same time, caused these gangsters to be on board, which are going to be saving them from...
Right. Which is, so far, I think the story's knitting together well. I find it hard to make a prediction about the old man outside of probably selling eternal life to those other old men. Side note, I don't know why you want eternal life. Like, that sounds terrible.
People are afraid of dying.
That's fair. Watch any vampire movie and they're like, yep, had 762 lovers in the course of my 3,000 millennia.
Yeah, and I had to watch all of them die at some point.
Right. So that doesn't sound like fun. And also people are selfish, so they get sick of each other. So if you end up giving one of those lovers eternal life, you're like stuck with them for literally forever unless you decapitate them. We don't know how you kill people.
Yeah.
With this exactly. I am hoping to see more about the magic of the world a little bit with the alchemy. Kind of hoping that happens. Those are my predictions so far. I don't think I covered everything, but I think I covered a lot of it.
Cool.
Any other questions for me?
Not for me.
All right.
Seem like you're enjoying it.
Yeah, it's good. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think about my predictions. We'll probably do the same thing where I won't read the comments
until we finish it.
And I'll
send him a few. I'll send him a few things if they're interested.
He'll send me some here and there. Again, our desire is to interact with you guys more. So we're dealing with where we're currently using like a very old GoPro that's having like the batteries swelling. So we're not sure exactly what's gonna happen there. Just to be frank with you guys. So we're trying to find some more solutions for ease of editing. And in one of our channel updates, we talked about how like each episode's about 15 hours a piece. So we're trying to cut that down and streamline things, but we're just kind of using the equipment we have right now. So we'll let you know if something else happens, even if we have to record on like a phone or something to let you know. But we are going to keep making episodes. So like, subscribe, comment. If you're waiting for Code Geass, it's coming. Let us know what you want us to watch. Check out the Patreon if you really like what we have to say. And we'll catch you next time on Baccano, episode 5. And I'm going to make the same joke about being Baccano
then. So we'll see you then. Bye. I'm out of here.
And I'm going to sit here.